Hey guys, welcome back to Devil's Advocate. Today we're going to talk about the Rachel and Tommy situation. So, if you guys aren't aware, Tommy had been sending Rachel screenshots of her and Amberlynn's relationship and all the quote unquote abuse that had been going on between the two of them. And yeah, Rachel did two very good, very thorough videos about the situation. And then all of a sudden, like Rachel was told that she wasn't allowed to use the voice notes given to her by Emily anymore. Amberlynn had written a statement, basically saying that in no way is anything that anyone's saying about Emily true, and that she's never tried to unalive somebody. And yeah, it's all just gone completely off the rails. What I find interesting is when Rachel did her latest video, she said, I've done a community post explaining the whole situation. In that post, she basically stated that she was paying Emily for, was planning to pay Emily for information about her relationship with Amberlynn, including the screenshots, voice notes, and the infamous video of the meltdown, which may or may not exist. I mean, how do we know? Like, that's the big question. And yeah, I guess I was rather shocked by this because who would pay somebody for a video of somebody abusing somebody else? Like, there's just something so insidious about that. Like, I just really don't like it. I had a lot of time and respect for Rachel, but this has kind of made me kind of rethink the whole community. Like everybody says, she touched the poo. Like, she flew too close to the sun. She got too involved in the characters of a drama channel, and yeah, and now who knows what's gonna happen. As for Emily, I feel like that she is a true manipulator. The whole time she's like been in Amberlynn Reed's life from day one. She knew exactly what she was doing. I fully believe she knew exactly who Amberlynn was. She knew how to get to her. She pulled her in, thinking that it was going to be the best relationship ever, and then manipulated her, like try to control her. And I'm not saying Amberlynn's any better because she's usually the manipulator. So I think in this case, she truly met her match with Tommy, and that was probably quite scary for her. And I hope she has a good look at herself and sees the similarities, the way she was being treated. With Tommy, yeah, I definitely think she seeked Amberlynn out, knowing that she could probably make money, for one, from her channel, which is what she'd been trying to do going through these reaction channels. She thought, oh, Amberlynn's got a massive following, loads of reaction channels. If I sell them details about her, then I can make money. And that's how it's definitely come across to me the whole time. And hindsight's a wonderful thing, but I've never been unsure of who Emily is in this whole relationship. There were definitely a few giveaways and a few of the conversations they had with each other. And when Amberlynn said at the beginning it was the best relationship ever, like it was amazing, and like that Emily was perfect. And for me, that says more than the rest of it, because I truly believe that Emily wanted that impression to come across, and it certainly did, knowing that Amberlynn was quite vulnerable when it comes to relationships. Like, she likes to jump straight into new relationships. She desperately wants to be loved. This woman fully took advantage of that with Amber, but then also didn't realise who Amberlynn was, like, in a relationship. And then also, like, didn't her partner die, like, couple of months before she met Amber, and like allegedly that person was the love of her life, and then all of a sudden she's jumped into a relationship with Amberlynn Reed? Like, just makes you wonder, did she actually really care about that person, or did she get what she wanted out of them? Is she capable of really caring about anybody? Because I would consider a partner that was, really loving and caring towards me, was then going to reaction channels and on Reddit's, like, to all the people who didn't like me, basically saying what a piece of shit I am. I wouldn't say that that person really cared about me at all, and I'd be interested to know if, like, Emily's previous partners have experienced this, because this to me is an isolation tactic. Emily wanted her on her own to isolate her from everybody, and if that's the case and they are still together now, or still speaking or whatever, she's basically isolated Amberlyn Reed from her whole community, like her reaction channels and her own community. We are all one community, obviously, but like, she's just like taken her away from all of that. So now she is isolated, and that's quite worrying. But the whole situation with Rachel, yeah, I just feel she, I don't know, for somebody who advocates so much about abuse and what an abusive person Emily was, and what an abusive person Amberlyn Reed is, and calling them all out on their behaviour, I'm just so surprised that she would be willing to hand over money to an abuser to show another abuser being abusive, and then write a community post. She's always about accountability, saying Amberlyn Reed, like, never takes accountability. It's always everyone else's fault, blah, 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 blah. Well, that community post, even though at the beginning she says she takes accountability for it, like, it's, I'm sorry, but, is what I read from that whole entire statement. And she hasn't actually apologized. So I think she needs to, like, put her words in her own mouth in this situation if she's going to recover from this. Because, yeah. And if there are other reaction channels that have been paying for information about Amberlyn Reed, like, you're not journalists, you're reaction channels. Like, you need to have a word with yourself. Like, how close are you getting into this situation? And the closer you get in, the more legal trouble you're going to get into at the end of the day. It's fine to have your opinions. It's fine to, like, look at the videos with fine tooth comb. But when it comes to people, like, doxing people's lives, for harassing family members and things like that, that's just a no. That's just a huge no, like, for anybody. And, like, even journalists, I'd say no. So yeah, I think everyone needs to stop and have a real think about what the next step is here. Like, the only thing that really mattered was Rarity, and that all totally got convoluted with all of this rest of this situation that's been going on. And about the Rarity, I don't know if anybody clocked in the Geordie video when he said that an anonymous person said he knew the person who caught Rarity and let her go into the woods. He said he wasn't sure if it was a true story or not, but had several messages from this person saying things about, like, Amberlyn Reed and Tommy and stuff like that, like knowing where they lived and things. So that'd be really interesting if we could get to the bottom of that, or maybe, like, follow that lead a little bit to see, because the closure with Rarity is probably the most important thing out of this. But I definitely do not agree with buying abuse videos, or videos of people being abused off anybody, whether it's Emily or anyone, like, because that is just wild, and that shows that there was definitely another scheme going on with Emily, and maybe even Amber. Maybe they're both trying to make as much money as possible from this situation. Like, who knows? But I think, don't get too close. Just back off and just deal with what you see. Like, we're not investigators. Like, I don't get it. Also, this whole video thing, the BPD meltdown, quote unquote, I'm wondering if Amberlynn Reid is actually not worried about us seeing the meltdown, because we've pretty much seen that for the last like 3 or 4 live streams she's done, her having complete like breakdowns and crash outs. So I don't think that's what she's worried about. I think she's worried about her legs. I think she's worried about the general public seeing her legs in all of their glory, like with no trousers on. Because if you look at like the comments on her live streams, etc., people tear her apart for her weight, what she eats, what she does, what she wears, like how she looks all the time. Could you imagine how much that would be amplified if people actually saw naked parts of her body? Like, unfortunately, there are people out there like that who just think it's really funny to just destroy someone's self esteem. And I really think it had more to do with the fact that Amberlynn was not fully dressed more than the actual meltdown. Which would be completely fair. Like, we live in a world now where everybody's so judgmental of everything. It wouldn't even surprise me in the slightest. So, yeah, that's my take on all of that. Please like and subscribe to this channel if you like more videos like this. And please leave a comment to what you would think is going on and what you think the next step is for some of these reaction channels, especially the ones who were willing to pay for information. Like, how do we all feel about that as a community? Please let me know. I would be very interested. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, whatever you're doing. And yeah, take care. Bye.